Climate. Introduction. We know that there can be rapid changes in the atmosphere. One day it may be sunny, the next day it may be cloudy or rainy. These variations in the climatic conditions affect our lifestyle and the ecosystem that surrounds us. Weather. We know that the climatic condition keeps changing at a fast rate. The condition of the atmosphere at any given time is called the weather of that place. The basic factors that determine the weather of a place are as follows. 1. Atmospheric pressure. 2. Temperature of air. 3. Humidity of air. 4. Precipitation. 5. Cloudiness. 6. Wind and breeze. Weather is the condition of the atmosphere over a short period of time at a particular place. It may change from day to day or even from hour to hour. It affects our daily activities and our lifestyle. Weather affects us in various ways. For example, we select our clothes according to the weather. Our daily activities are also affected by weather. What is climate? Climate is the average weather condition of a place over a long period of time. Climate affects lifestyle of a larger area. It influences our housing, food, clothing and transportation. For example, European countries have a cold climate. Therefore, people living there eat a lot of fat to keep warm. Why does climate vary? The people who study climate have concluded that the factors that influence climate are latitude, ocean currents, wind pattern, etc. The presence of high mountains, deserts, oceans and forests also affect the climate of the surrounding area. The temperature of the air is the most important element that determines the climate of a place. The sun is the main source of heat on the earth. All the places of earth do not receive the same amount of heat. Thus, in order to understand why the climate varies, we must know about the factors that control the distribution of heat all over the earth. There are a number of factors that determine the climate of a place. They are 1. Distance from the equator or latitude. 2. Height from the sea level or altitude. 3. Direction of the winds. 4. Distance from the sea. 5. Humidity. Distance from the equator or latitude. The earth receives all its heat from the sun. The equator, being nearer to the sun than the poles for most part of the year, receives more sunlight. As we move away from the equator, the sun rays get diffused. Thus, the farther we are from the equator, the colder is the climate towards the poles. The sun's rays strike the earth at a slant height. Each of the main latitudinal regions of the Earth's surface is said to be a geographical zone divided by the major circles of latitude. The difference between them relate to climate and the behavior of the sun. They are as follows. 1. The north frigid zone, north of the Arctic Circle. 2. The north temperate zone, between the Arctic Circle and the Tropic of Cancer. 3. The northern torrid tropical zone. 4. The southern torrid tropical zone. 5. The south temperate zone, between the Tropic of Cancer and the Antarctic Circle. 6. The south frigid zone, south of the Antarctic Circle. Height above the sea level or altitude. Another factor that influences the climate of the place is altitude or height above the sea level. The higher we go, the colder it gets. The areas that are located at a high altitude have a cold climate. It is known to us that most of the mountain peaks are covered with snow, particularly in winter. This is because the temperature of higher altitudes is very low. This explains the reason of people going to hill stations like Shimla, Nainital and Darjeeling that are cold even in summer. People go to hill stations which are located at high altitudes to escape the heat of the plains. Direction of the wind. Places are also affected by the wind system. Wind is caused by the uneven heating of the air around the earth. Warm air rises and is replaced by cool air. This produces winds which contain heat and moisture. Thus, it affects the temperature and humidity of the area, causing changes in climate. Distance from the sea. The places near the sea have a moderate type of climate as compared to those located in the interior, even if they lie on the same latitude. This is because land heats up and cools down faster than water. When the warm air over the land rises, it is replaced by the cool air from the sea. The sea breeze cools the coastal areas in summer and warms them in winter. Humidity. Humidity is the presence of moisture in the air. The degree of humidity of a place is related to its distance from the sea. Winds blowing over the sea collect moisture and make the climate in coastal areas very humid. Humidity makes you sweat a great deal. Ocean currents. The ocean currents affect the climate of the places situated in the coastal areas. Oceans have warm and cold currents which affect the areas near which they flow. For example, when Western Europe experiences freezing temperature, the warm Gulf Stream brings respite to the people. Climatic zones. From the division of the earth into 3 heat zones, it is clear that we have moved away from the equator towards the poles. The temperature goes on decreasing. The influence of the climate on the lifestyles of people can be best understood by studying the different climatic zones. Regions having similar characteristic features of climate are grouped under one climatic zone. According to a recent code of Bureau of Indian Standards, the country may be divided into 5 major climatic zones. 1. Hot and dry means monthly temperature greater than 30 degrees Celsius and relative humidity less than 55%. 2. Warm and humid means monthly temperature greater than 25 degree to 30 degrees Celsius and relative humidity greater than 55 to 75%. 3. Temperate means monthly temperature 25 to 30 degrees Celsius and relative humidity less than 75 degrees. 4. Cold means monthly temperature less than 25 degrees Celsius and relative humidity all values. 5. Composite. This applies when the temperature is 6 months or more than do not fall within any of the other categories. Hot and dry. The hot and dry zone lies in the western and the central parts of India. Jaisalmer, Jodhpur and Sholapur are some of the towns that experience this type of climate. Warm and humid. The warm and humid zone covers the coastal part of the country, such as Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. Temperate. Pune and Bengaluru are examples of cities that fall under this climatic zone. Cold. Generally, the northern part of India experiences this type of climate. Composite. The composite zone covers the central part of India, such as New Delhi, Kanpur and Allahabad. Greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is caused by the interaction of the sun's energy with greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane. The ability of these gases to trap heat is what results in greenhouse effect. It raises the temperature of the atmosphere. Forecasting the weather. Meteorologists are those people who forecast the weather. They do this with the help of satellites. They give us information regarding temperature, humidity, rainfall, etc. of a place.